So here's a massive top tip for decision making. This is Bayes' theorem. I first came across it in the Thinking Fast, Thinking Slow book, and I've subsequently found this video that I'll share in the blog with you, so you can look at it in YouTube. It's 15 minutes or so of real detailed explanation about Bayes' theorem. It's one of the most important theories and statistical solutions around probability. So it's really fundamental. So that's a really good video to watch. But to shortcut that, I want to instill in you a really simple example that should really help to embed this concept. And the basic concept is really, really simple. The baseline is that in a city, there's 1,000 taxi cabs. And the baseline makeup of those 1,000 cabs is that 85% of them are green company cabs and 15% are blue company cabs. So we've got 850 green cabs and 150 blue cabs. So that's the baseline situation. And what Bayes' theorem is saying to us all the time, is always really start with your baseline. Don't forget this. We tend to skip this and think that we know better, the thinking fast approach, and it's often wrong in these sort of situations. So what happens then is we've got that baseline information and then we get new evidence. So in this example, there's been a hit and run in the city, and we want to find out which company has caused that hit and run. So there was some more evidence captured by a passerby that witnessed the accident or the hit and run, and in their view, there's an 80% chance that it was the blue cab. They thought it was a blue cab, so therefore by definition there's a 20% chance that it was actually a green cab. So with these odds, most people jump to the conclusion that it's a blue cab that's done it. So then the police would go and knock on the door of the blue cab company and demand all the drivers in that area, etc. But what Bayes' theorem tells you to do, and insists that you do, is take this more seriously and think it through rationally. So the baseline is 20% of given the new evidence, 20% of 850 would be 170 cars. The chance is cars in the frame, if you like. And the baseline of the blue would be 150 multiplied by 80%, so there'd be 120 blue cars in the frame. So it really narrows it down from 850 to 150 down to 170 to 120. So there's a 41% chance that it was blue and a 59% chance that it was green. So even with the new evidence, which looks overwhelmingly like it was a blue cab, it's still probably a green cab that did the hit and run. So what Bayes' theorem is getting you to do all the time is really do not underestimate the power of that baseline, and only move from the baseline with new evidence. So I think that's a great example, and I always think about this whenever I hit a new situation where I've got to think things through in terms of probabilities and likely outcomes. You'll be surprised how useful this is. There was another example in the Daniel Kahneman Thinking Fast and Slow book where he was part of an academic team. They were tasked with writing an academic textbook for a university, I think. And they all thought as a team, they thought they were great. They had a great team. They thought they could do it in 18 months. They came back to this theory, asked the dean of the university, how long does it normally take to write one of these books? And he came back with something like 9 years was the average time. So that's the baseline. And they all thought instinctively, we'll do it in 18 months. It actually took them about 8 years to finish it. So just never underestimate the power of this baseline information as your starting point. And then your new evidence is, well, we've got a slightly better team than everybody else, so that might tweak it down from 9 years to 8 years, but it's not unlikely to take it down to 18 months. So always think about Bayes' theorem. It's brilliant.